the Hoodie, brought to you by the Fan View Network. I'm Bobby Kravitsky. Alongside me, as always, is Jeff Kane. You can find me on Twitter at Bobby_K91. You can find the big fella on Twitter, no longer Boston Fat Guy. He's now Jeff Kane 78. And we have with us tonight a special guest. We've got from our own contingency of writers. I believe you can still see his work on CLNS Radio. You'll be able to see it soon enough on The Franchise, which is coming your way shortly. Drew Kennedy. Drew, why don't you tell everyone where they can find your work, because I'm sure I just butchered that to some degree, and also where they can find you on Twitter.
Drew hit his mic again.
We can't. Oh, no.
He just screwed us. He just screwed the pooch. His one chance.
Oh, my goodness. I had one chance.
Drew, you're supposed to be good with technology and with all this. First Google Hangout. This is how you.
This is my first Google Hangout, guys. Sorry for the inconvenience here. Yes, Bobby, you had it right. I am on CLNS a little bit still. I'm weaning myself off though for the launching of the franchise. You can find me on Twitter at DrewKennedy7, and also I'm trying to boost my Instagram, so it's dkennedy37_photos if you want to check me out.
Hey, Drew, do you have the photos that you previewed to us inside of our little chat on your Instagram?
no, that's
on this show tonight.
Because it's you, man. I am getting Instagram, and I am trying to.
That's not on Instagram. That's for your guys only.
I need this stuff in my life. You guys keep me young.
Ladies, follow Drew Kennedy. Do not follow Jeff Kane. That would be a mistake. All right, guys. Let's get down to business here. Some comments that came out just the other day from Chris Russo, who spoke with 9 team owners. He goes on Kirk Minahan's podcast, Enough About Me, and here's what he had to say. Quote, "We got Kraft. We don't like Kraft. We got him already. We nailed him for $1 million, and he lost a first-round pick and a fourth-round pick," close quote. Guys, we're going to start with our guest, Drew Kennedy. What is your reaction to those comments?
Right off the bat, I mean, obviously it looks like he's a Patriot hater, but I'm not sure of the context exactly. And I know who the Mad Dog is, but I don't listen to a lot of stuff. So I'll be interested to see the context, but right now it sounds like he's a Patriot hater, and I don't see how you couldn't like Kraft. He's inspiration of a business owner, runs a great organization, and yeah, he got screwed by Goodell. But do you know what the context was for this?
Yeah, see, Drew, and this is my bad for not clarifying here. Those comments are not as much Russo giving his opinion. They're an example of him relaying some of what was told to him by these 9 owners that he spoke with.
Oh, okay.
So this is their opinion, and like you said, Kraft has been a model owner, and it reflects just the jealousy of billionaire owners who act like children trying to take someone down for having too much success and getting too much of the publicity.
Yeah, wow, that's a pretty outright statement there. I mean, I'm sure he's paraphrasing, but still, the fact that the owners don't like him, I don't know why. They should be looking to him instead of hating him.
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Kraft got so much glory, after the CBA in 2011. Obviously, his team, as he came out so eloquently and said the other day, has been to a AFC Championship game an average of every other year in his tenure. So there is a lot of jealousy there. The Old Boys Network, your Millionaires Club, and it's a shame if Tom Brady is going to face a 4-game suspension because the owners turned around and got a Woody over Bob Kraft and said, we're going to go after him. It's absolute shame. And Drew, you said, you're talking a lot about, Chris Mad Dog Russo. He is a huge Raiders fan, if you ever listen to his podcast, and also his, regular radio show on Sirius XM. He's quite flamboyantly out there, goes crazy. But yeah, no, he
it's an appropriate name than Mad Dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
But he definitely did come out and kind of dropped a bombshell across the league that we got Kraft. People don't like Kraft, and I think us in New England have always thought that other owners just love Kraft because of what he did. But
Yeah, I mean, he's proposed rule changes. I mean, he has been influential in the league for a number of years. I mean, I wonder if something behind the scenes that we don't know about that he may have done or said that have upset other owners, or just the fact that he's been so successful year in year out.
Well, Drew, I think what's really changed behind the scenes is you have more and more of these owners who inherited the team from their fathers now at least trying to come into power. So I don't know if you guys read the ESPN, the magazine piece from Don Van Natta and Seth Wickersham discussing just what went on behind the scenes in getting the Rams to Los Angeles and making sure it was Kroenke's team and not Dean Spanos's or whatever his first name is, the child out there in Oakland, Davis, who's Al Davis's kid, who just every time I look at him, I crack up with that mushroom cut or that bowl cut. What they basically talked about was that it used to be the top two owners in terms of power and recognition were Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft. But now there's a serious division that has even put those two on opposite sides of the table on several key issues, and on most of them, Kraft's team has come up on the short side of the fence, with Jerry Jones getting his way back in Kroenke, bringing the Rams to Los Angeles being the most prominent one, and so it just shows how Bob Kraft has really become an outsider at his own country club.
When you look at it, it's old money versus new money, and I wonder how Bob Kraft got stuck in the old money regime. He's stuck with the Maras and I can't think of the owners of the Pittsburgh Steelers, but that's where he's stuck right now. And we always thought that Jerry Jones was, Kraft always thought very highly of Jerry Jones because when he bought the team in '94, he was the first guy that welcomed him in. But you're right, it is. If you read that piece on ESPN, the magazine, there's a lot of collusion going on between the new owners versus the old owners, and I wonder how much of it is the fact that when Jerry Jones's team got caught in 2010 with the salary cap violations, Bob Kraft told them to take that penalty.
Yeah, Jeff, I think what's happened here is there's been so many instances where Kraft has told these other owners to take their medicine because it's not in the best interest of the league, and certainly not in the best interest to go out and make Goodell look even worse. And now the shoe is on the other foot, and so these owners are relishing the opportunity
the tables have turned.
to throw it back at him. Exactly. And now we're going to move on to part two of this discussion, where what happens next if you're Bob Kraft is how are you going to react to this? How does this impact your game plan moving forward, given the new landscape? And I think that it has the possibility to impact the Patriots when it comes to the negotiating table. For example, I think that Kraft always wanted Tom Brady to retire having only played for the Patriots, but also was resigned for a while, like many of us, that there was going to be a point in time where Bill was going to feel it was best to move on and go with another quarterback, especially once Jimmy Garoppolo came aboard. But now, with Brady's elevated play and the realities being what they are for Kraft and where he stands amongst the other owners, all of a sudden here they are locking down a new extension that seemingly is going to keep Brady in Foxborough for the remainder of his career. I just wonder if this played any factor at all in Kraft wanting to say, you know what, screw that, none of you guys deserve the opportunity to have Tom Brady quarterbacking your franchise.
That could be it, but I mean, I don't know how you go away from Brady, and it does seem that Belichick is showing some signs of sentiment with Brady. I don't know if you saw his statements the other day. Like he's saying, that's my quarterback, like no one else. I mean, how can he not have some sentiment with that guy after their career together and the kind of model and man he is. He's an inspiration, really, how hard he works. Like, his diet is unbelievable. His routine is unbelievable. And he's constantly working and trying to get better. I mean, he almost seems like he's getting more athletic with age, which is an anomaly, really. You don't really see that ever. I think he's in great shape. I think he's playing fine. I don't see any signs of him slowing down. And, I think he'll end his career in Foxborough, a Patriot.
I agree with you there, Drew, and that's one of the things is I'd always, for those as long as I can remember, said that Brady would not retire a Patriot. I always thought that Bill Belichick would move on from Tom Brady at some point.
That'd be a Belichick move.
It would be, especially. I mean, we saw him do
decision.
it in Cleveland with Bernie Kosar, moving on to Vinny Testaverde when he thought that was a better move. To a lesser extent, winning a Super Bowl with the Patriots and moving on from Drew Bledsoe to Tom Brady was a move, and I always thought that would happen. Now I look at it with Brady signing the 2-year extension, 4 more years of Tom Brady to 2019. Bill Belichick's 63 years old. He's always said he doesn't want to coach till he's 70. I could see 2019 being the swan song for Bill Belichick as the head coach.
That's going to be a sad year.
It would, but Tom Brady as your quarterback, and there was a move that was made earlier this week, and I've prognosticated it for a few times now, that Steve Belichick, who was just brought up to be safeties coach, may just replace his father as the head coach of the New England Patriots.
Imagine that.
Bill moves up to, he can move up and be a front office man.
And then right after that, Jonathan Kraft will be the new owner then. And there'll be a whole legacy of Belichick's and Krafts going on there. That'd be interesting, huh?
I'm all for keeping it in the family. However, it would be a shame to see someone like Matt Patricia go, and there's obviously people like Flores, who's now the linebackers coach, ahead of
Daniels, guys. Come on. He can be head coach for us, right?
I'll let Jeff field that one.
Oh, come on now. Come on. Hold on a second.
I just needed a reaction from you, Jeff.
No idea what he's about to bring back, but I'm very curious to find out.
Find a new job, Josh. I hate Josh McDaniels with a passion. The guy should never coach as a head coach in this league. He is overrated because of his quarterback, and if you put him anywhere else, he S-U-C-K-S's. He sucks!
He'd be a great Jets coach. Or Bills or Dolphins.
I'm all for him staying in the division as a head coach. He could have gone to Miami. I would have had no qualms with that.
Me either.
Bitch.
There it is. So I looked at the rundown, did not think we'd be talking about Josh McDaniels, but his streak of being brought up on Inside the Hoodie continues somehow.
Well, how about this? We'll transition to the draft needs. I think Josh McDaniels is having a hard time because he has no running back, which I think, or all the offensive line was
bad. You're just playing up to Jeff right now.
That will get you right on the Christmas list, talking about the running back and Josh McDaniels.
Right. So I think offensive tackle and running back are the number 1 and 2 interchangeable, really, needs for the Patriots in this draft. I have high hopes for Donald Brown, but I don't see him being a premier back. I think he's just another cog in a committee, and I'm getting kind of tired of committees. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I completely agree, Drew. Donald Brown, I look at his abilities as a receiver and in pass protection much more than I do as a first and second down back. He's obviously not a power back, which is a dynamic Bill Belichick loves to have. It's why he's gone to LeGarrette Blount time and time again in recent seasons, and I still think there's a good chance that Blount is brought back again for a third campaign in New England. But when you talk about the power back role and you talk about running back being one of 2 of their biggest needs right now, I can't help but look in the direction of Alabama's Derrick Henry and how nice of a fit he would be. Absolutely. If the comments from the message group, Drew, they really just happen verbally when we get on Inside the Hoodie. So I campaign for Derrick Henry in the message group, and I do it on Hoodie as well. I'd love to see the Patriots, even if they had to move up to get him. I think it's worth it. Jeff Kane, what say you?
Well, you know I want to run him back. You know I want to run him back. You know I think I talked about Donald Brown last week. I still don't like it. Even though Dean Spano says he's the perfect Patriots running back and this and that. No, he's not. Okay, he can catch the ball. Oh, that's big in New England's offense. I understand that. But you know what? I am so sick and tired of this big back, receiving back stuff. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it just sitting there and saying, oh, it's 2nd and 3, and LeGarrette Blount's on the field, so it's not going to be a pass, and if it is, it's a play-action pass. I'm sick and tired of it being 2nd and 8 and seeing, James White or Shane Vereen out there, and knowing that they're not going to run a draw, they're just going to either run a wheel route or spread something out wide. I understand. Listen, I get it. The Patriots won a Super Bowl last year. I got it. I understand. Believe me, I've been following this team for a long time. Unfortunately, in the last 10 years, there has been issues with the fact that this team is so one-dimensional that it takes the greatest quarter of any quarterback ever in the Super Bowl and a miracle interception to win a Super Bowl. Otherwise, you're talking about 0 for your last 3 in the Super Bowl, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that you can't run the football, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that you don't have the running backs to do it.
Yeah, I agree. My only question is I actually have 2 questions, I guess. I guess we'll start with, can Derrick Henry, is he a receiving back too? Because what I saw in college, and correct me if I'm wrong, he was mainly a power back. I mean, power is almost an understatement.
So I think we answered part 1 right there. That he is not. He didn't show that ability. Now, you do have to be careful when you're talking about college players. It's not a question of can he do this? It's a question of will he be able to do this? And I think he surprised people with the numbers he posted at the Combine. So maybe there's a chance for that, but there's little to no tape out of him going out and catching passes, although I'm certainly not concerned about his ability to hold up in pass protection looking at his size.
Right. And my second question is, do you think he'll slip to the 2nd round?
I do. Now, you never know. The NFL draft is as unpredictable as any draft there is. You never know how things are going to shake out, but you look at the position he plays, and I think it's a very legitimate prospect that he's available in the 2nd round. Now, he might not be available for long on day 2. I think the Patriots, if they sought him out, would have to move up the board significantly to go out and get him. But they have the draft capital to do that, and as I said earlier, I think it would be worth it.
I mean, I would rank him the 2nd best running back in the draft right now. I don't know if you guys agree or not, but there's got to be another team. There's got to be 2 teams who need running backs who are going to draft him. So I think if we already get him, I think we may have to move up, which would be awesome because we have a better chance of getting Derrick Henry, and it'd be a huge middle finger to the league. Take away our first pick, that's fine, and we'll get it anyway.
Yeah, Jeff discussed with me on a podcast that we did not long ago the fact that thanks to that Chandler Jones deal, they now have the 60 and the 61st pick, which combines to equal enough draft capital to move up to the 32nd pick in the draft, a.k.a. the first pick in the 2nd round, so they wouldn't have to forfeit a first-round pick in order to select the top pick in the 2nd round. Giant middle finger to Roger Goodell. We know that's the type of stuff that Bill Belichick gets off on doing, and even these meetings that they're having down there in, I believe it's Florida right now, they kicked off with Goodell giving a press conference and Bill Belichick walking out the door heading in the other direction. So I certainly wouldn't put it past William T. to make a move like that.
That'd be awesome. I mean, it wouldn't only be a middle finger to Goodell, but it'd be a middle finger to 9+ owners that we were talking about earlier who hate Robert Kraft and the Patriots. That'd be a message to the league saying we're not going anywhere.
Absolutely, and I really think for as much justified outrage as there is towards Goodell, he's a punching bag, and I think people have known that for a while, but still misplaced most of their frustration at him when you can see clearer now than ever that it's these owners. that dictate the actions that Goodell does, that they obviously wanted to take Robert Kraft down a peg, and he just simply followed orders.
Mm.
You could have put a chimp in charge of the league and it would, make money. And they got a chimp in charge of the league, or a chump in Roger Goodell. He's in charge of the league, and you can make money. Football's not going anywhere. They print money over there. I mean, they absolutely print money at the NFL. The Ray Rice issue didn't hurt them. The Deflategate issue is not hurting them.
Concussion doesn't hurt them.
No, it's impenetrable. They're almost like Superman. There's no kryptonite for the league. It's unfortunate because, as we said
Donald
earlier,
Trump. There's no kryptonite for Donald Trump.
Absolutely.
He can do anything he
I like
wants.
that comparison.
Make America great again.
Here we go. All right,
Oh,
we'll keep it to football, guys. All right, keep it to football. I'm sorry I brought that up.
If you're watching the show, all you need to know is that Jeff Kane's voting for Donald Trump. That's reason enough not to support him.
Don't follow him on Twitter. Don't.
I've been trying to keep a low profile of who I've been, gonna vote for, guys. I mean,
The
but
cat's out of the bag.
the cat's out of the bag. Now I'm gonna either gain a ton of Twitter followers or lose them, and you know what? I don't care. I don't care. I'll build a wall around my Twitter.
Jeff, this is why I like bringing on the Patriots writers that we have, because the conversation gets off the tracks, and usually something gets revealed that shouldn't be on air. And here we are talking about Jeff Kane building a wall.
Fair, beautiful.
All right. Reel it in, guys.
Are you kidding me, Drew? This makes for better content. I want the conversation to head in this direction.
He always wants the conversation to head in this direction. He always tries to, he's got to be blobby perfect over there. He's got his little Syracuse hat on. He's
right.
like, "Woo, go Orange, baby!" And then he gets me on a tangent, and I go crazy. My blood pressure goes up, and my wife has to, shock me back to life.
It's always best when I can work in a complicated name.
All right. So do you guys think if we try up in the first round or even in our second round picks, do you guys think Patriots go for a running back first or an offensive tackle or guard first?
Well, Drew, you talked about the factors at play when it comes to running back and whether or not Derrick Henry would still be available. I think it's always about that debate between the big board against immediate needs.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they feel like the best value pick, if they're going to trade up, is a particular tackle, then I could absolutely see them heading in that direction. Although, to be honest, I don't think they trade up to get a player that's not going to have too much of an impact on this team until 2 seasons from now. So I think if they move up, it's for a skill position, but I wouldn't rule out wide receiver. Jeff knows that I have a man crush on Sterling Shepard, the Oklahoma product, who he's heard this a number of times now, so I'm sorry, Jeff, you're going to have to hear it again. But he is a polished route runner, a willing blocker, and
plays in the slot.
I think someone who could be a perennial Pro Bowler, not to mention
another slot receiver.
That's out his position. He is an immediate replacement to Danny Amendola, and I think one day the heir to
Why does he need to be replaced? Why is I've been seeing all this in the news online that is Danny Amendola going to stay in New England or Chris Hogan taking his place, Nate Washington taking his place? Like, I don't understand why there's question. You guys shine some light on that?
It's his contract. Jeff, I've talked enough, so I'll let you take over from here. It's his contract, and I don't think it necessarily means that he's going to be cut before the start of this season, but it's a very realistic possibility.
You know the best part, I don't know if it happened on your screen, guys, but on my screen, Drew got frozen. It was like this. You know what I mean? He kind of looked like a weirdie, like he was, just took a hit or something like that. It was kind of funny.
Come on. Hey.
But no, really though, if you really take a look back on it, and you look at Danny Amendola and the fact that his contract is guaranteed the night before the season begins, so $5 million for your fourth or fifth, option is going to be a little tough to swallow, especially if the Patriots want to dump some of the money for an extension for Jamie Collins or Dante Hightower
Mm-hmm.
into this season. Right now they're working on the Rule of 51. If you need to know what that is, don't ask me. Go to Miguel's page at PatScap. It'll describe the whole Rule of 51 because you need a science degree for that. Obviously, I'm not that bright, but really,
Hey, come on.
But take a look at it. So that's the whole thing, though. I mean, especially with the signing of Nate Washington earlier on Thursday, we could see the last of Danny Amendola, number 80, catching balls from Tom Brady.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a possibility. I'm curious as to who you guys like in the draft at offensive tackle. Do you guys have anyone in mind, or?
So I won't speak for Jeff, but I really haven't started to break down the film of most positions, really, especially not offensive linemen. But I think there are some intriguing prospects that you hear. Dante Scarnecchia working out. He's been traveling like a madman, racking up those frequent flyer miles. So those are the names that I can tell you I'm going to start with is you follow where Scarnecchia is going, who he's working out, and you go from there.
Whoever Mike Loico has as his 5th-rated tackle is the guy I want.
What's that, Jeff?
Whoever Mike Loico from NEPatriotsDraft.com wants as his 5th-rated tackle, that's the guy I want.
Why is that?
I don't know. It just, Loico does a great job on his draft guide.
I do like Mike Loico.
So, I figured the first 4 tackles are gone in the first round, and that 5th tackle we can trade up and get. So I haven't looked to see who it is yet, Drew, because, well, to be honest with you, I haven't got into drafting. I've been a little off on draft this year because I'm a little upset we don't have a first-round draft pick. I mean, I'm really upset we don't have a first-round draft pick. Yeah. I think yes. So I really haven't been getting excited. So, Thursday night of the draft, I'm going to be sitting there with a Budweiser in my hand going, what am I supposed to do now?
Listen to Mel Kiper Jr., I guess, because that's all you really can listen to around draft time.
He's got great hair, doesn't he? He's got
he has amazing hair. One name that I've heard, and that would be a realistic draft choice for us, is Jermaine Ifedi from Texas A&M. I don't know if you guys have heard about him at all. I've watched some highlight tape of him, and he doesn't look bad, and he's rated position rank is 6 in the draft, or for as far as offensive tackle, and you guys should look into him. I think he may be a target.
So my first question, Drew, would be about his size. I don't expect you to know his arm length, but those are 2 big factors.
Arm length? No, I can give you his height and weight, though. He's 6'6", 324.
So he fits the mold. If you look at Nate Solder and Sebastian Vollmer, those are the type of physical makeup that the Patriots like to draft on the bookends. So I think he checks that box off.
Yeah, I'm looking at, he's the heaviest offensive lineman I can see.
Already love him. Love him. Love heavy guys.
So I see Laramie Tunzel is number 1 position rank. He's 310. And then there's 5 other guys, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other guys. And then there's Jermaine at 6, and he's 6'6", 324. So he's the heaviest until rank 18 at 328. So I think he would be a snag because he's ranked 6. He's got some weight behind him, and his projected round is in the 2nd round. So I think that could work. What's that?
Ifedi is the name?
Yeah, Jermaine Ifedi.
See, Bobby,
I hope the Patriots draft him.
I hope Jermaine Ifedi, I hope he becomes a Patriot just like Micah Hamanuanui.
There it is. But unlike Le'Veon Bell.
Drew, if you haven't listened, I cannot say Le'Veon Bell. I've called him LaDainian Bell. I've called him LeClowny Bell.
That sounds the same to me.
For a while, I just
Liberty Bell. You name it. He's said it.
Have you guys ever seen that Key and Peele skit with all like the East Coast, West Coast All-Star college football game? LaDavion, LaJohnson, Thomas III, like this crazy names nowadays.
Deferred. I love deferred.
So, Drew, let me ask you, as we get closer and closer to the draft, we're obviously going to reach out to Mike Loico, who's a GFOP, good friend of the program. We're going to have Sam Pericolo on, who is all over. He
loves the draft.
He's all over the draft. He's made more mock drafts than I can count so far, and we're not even in April yet. So I don't know how far along you are, but you're talking about tackles that you have on your radar. So I think it's fair to ask, just give me some of the players that you think would be a great fit here in New England that you have your eye on.
In the draft right now?
Yes.
Um, hmm. It's a great question. I've only looked at of needs solely based on needs. I haven't looked at personalities of who would be a great Patriot. I mean, if you're a Patriot fan, you kind of know what that entails. Hardworking, quiet, not talking to the media a whole lot. That's a great question. I have to look into that more. I am pretty early in the draft research process. That'd be a great question for Sam Pricklow, actually.
We'll be sure to get you on too as we get closer to the draft.
Good stuff. I'm looking at one of these offensive tackles' name, and it's LaRaven Clark. LaRaven.
That's a pretty sexy name right there.
We could have a LeAdrian and LaRaven. I love it.
LaRadrian, LaRaven, Le'Veon.
Those are your bookends. I don't know about Le'Veon, a.k.a. LaDavion, a.k.a. the Liberty Bell, coming to Foxborough anytime soon.
You gotta call him the Liberty Bell. What a great name.
How is that not his nickname? If he was an Eagle, it's
he's not,
a
yeah, if he's an Eagle, dude, he'd be the
He needs to go to the Eagles right now.
So, Drew,
Speaking of the Eagles, actually, I think they might snag Derrick Henry.
Snag. I'm gonna use snag all the time.
I like
Snagging it.
snag. I like
Snag. Snag.
Let's snag some ass, baby.
That's why he's got that Instagram account.
I know. You guys gotta follow the Instagram account.
Stop that. No, it's nature and sports
time.
pictures. It's pictures of mountains and the sky, and then there's pictures of hockey.
I like the mountains and the valleys. Can we picture those? Mountains and valleys.
Great peaks over there.
Oh, the Twin Peaks, baby.
All right, Drew, we'll change the subject for you, but we're coming at you with another hard-hitting question.
I love it.
Here we go.
You brought up Mel
I'm ready.
Kiper, whose nickname is the hairdo.
Yeah.
Better hair, him or Donald Trump?
That's not even a question.
Really?
Everything about Donald Trump disgusts me. He looks like an Oompa Loompa. It looks like he has like a toupee attached to his head. I don't see what's so alluring about the guy. Mel Kiper, his hair is not anything special, but he does
That's
seem
some great
to know.
lettuce. That is special lettuce right there.
That's a nice flow there.
on
I'll
Mel
have to
Kiper.
give it to him. It's full. It doesn't look fake. It looks real. It looks authentic. And he has a clue about what he's talking about, so that's a plus. So I think he's greater than Donald Trump, all the above.
We now go to the defense, Mr. Cade.
The rebuttal.
No one's got things more wrong than Mel Kiper Jr. in his life. Come on now. I know we're talking Patriots here. Patriots, remember, not America, because if you want to make America great again, you vote for Donald Trump. But, that's just what I'm saying there. And none of this Bernie Sanders crap or Hillary, please spare me.
Well, there's got to be a reason Mel
the
Kiper is
question was
featured
about
on the
hair.
draft all the time, every year. There's got to be a reason. Maybe it's the hair. Maybe the hair is just really eye-catching.
I think that's what got him the job at ESPN and what keeps him on.
The hair and the glasses. His signature.
It's the whole thing. I just don't understand. How long must it take him to get his hair to look like that every day?
Well, it takes me 3 to 4 hours to get just this perfect baby here. And I don't know about you. I got a little government plastic over here, okay? So, I get the part,
Look at that. That's just great salad right there.
Salad.
Look at this. 38 years old and not one gray hair. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's all red.
It is red.
Is that better? Is that better than gray? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's better than gray. Look, no hairline receding. It's beautiful.
Those Bush lattes are keeping you young, Jeff. All right, so Drew, let's move on from just personality fits, but just who are some players in general, and I'll let you give the reasons why you would like to see the Patriots draft them.
I would like to take Jermaine Feedy, like I was saying earlier. Obviously, the size is great. He's protected for the second round, so I think there's a great chance of us being able to snag him And we need an offensive tackle. We really need an offensive tackle. I don't want Cannon out there who is getting overpaid to begin with. I always get Solder and Vollmer mixed up. Vollmer is the tackle, right?
They both are, but Solder is the
Okay,
left tackle.
all right.
Vollmer is the big German right tackle.
Okay, all right. And they've been around for a while, and they kind of struggled last year. And we'll see how long they stick around for, but I do think we need some young offensive tackles. And I think I've watched some highlight reel of him, and he looks pretty good. And he did a pretty good job at A&M. That's who I'm banking on right now. And, of course, Derrick Henry's great, and he's a monster. But as you and I always say, we're always wary of Alabama backs because they come with so much mileage. It kind of reminds me of my car. I wish I hadn't bought it. It breaks down all the time because it's old. And it's a great car. It's WRX. It's fast, but it's old. It's fast and powerful, but it's old. And I don't know. It reminds me of Derrick Henry. We'll see. He's an Alabama backs just get run through the dirt. They get run through the mud. And we'll see. But he would be great to have because we do need a running back, and Belichick loves power backs. But I do also like Kenyon Drake from Alabama. A little bit less mileage, and I think he can do a little bit more receiving and power running. Seems a little bit more of a hybrid back. I haven't watched a whole lot of highlight reel tape of him, but that's also another guy to watch out for. We could snag him in the second round as well.
I love the snag. I'm going to use it all day long.
Yes, it's great. It's underrated. It's not used enough. Bring it up. Use it.
Hey, Bobby, doesn't Drew kind of look like one of the Gronkowskis?
He could pass for one of the Gronks. Now,
Jeff, come on.
he's sitting down, so I can't imagine he's going to stand up at 6'7", 6'8", but yeah, not quite. But
I need an Arizona shirt instead.
Right? Just I see where you're coming from, though, Jeff. I can get on board with that. That's a quality.
Man, you just made my night.
You know, I mean, he's a master. He's a Jedi with the chicks. You know, it's unreal.
I'm not a great dancer though, so I don't know if I'll.
Neither is he.
Neither is Morty. Papa Gronk is a terrible dancer.
Well, Rob's pretty good. Well, I don't know if he's great. He's just not bashful at all.
Exactly.
He'll let it all hang out.
90% of the game is just getting out there. You don't want to be that kid in the corner.
Confidence is what it is.
Absolutely, and if you're a professional athlete with millions of dollars in the bank, that doesn't hurt either.
Right, that's true. Well, you asked me who I want in the draft. Is there anyone else besides Derrick Henry that you guys would like in the draft? Well, you mentioned that receiver too, right, Bobby?
Yeah, Sterling Shepard.
Sterling Shepard. I'll have to look into him. I looked at some receivers. One being, I have it right here, Rashard Hollywood Higgins out of
the name Hollywood.
That's his nickname. It's Hollywood in the middle, and he played for. I'm not even sure who he played for.
Iceman.
I think he played for Marshall. He played for Marshall, and I did watch some highlight reel of him, and he does look pretty good.
I watched some highlight reel of a Marshall wide receiver once. His name was Aaron Dobson. He caught the ball in one hand like this. It was beautiful, and he's got about 45 receptions in 3 years. And
then he broke his foot.
He was once strongly on Team Dobson, but
it hurts my feelings. I am now Team Rajay or Team UMass.
Oh my God, I was going to set you up for him, but
I know. Sharp from UMass, babe. Love it.
Drew,
Book it.
Do you know who this kid is? I'm yet to watch film, but I've heard the name. Sharp, wide receiver from Massachusetts. It's always intriguing when a local product gets linked to the Patriots. Jeff said he's watched him a little bit and was intrigued. You know his first name. We start there. Sharp.
How do you?
Sharp on UMass. I'll let Jeff give you something close to the pronunciation.
Tajay. I'm going to say Tajay.
Tajay UMass. I'm looking him up right now.
Sharp.
I know his last name is Sharp with an E.
Burston.
I don't know. I'm loving it.
Oh, never mind. That's a girl basketball player. Never mind.
His last name is Sharp with an E at the end. SHARPE.
Okay.
Shappy, baby. Shappy.
So clearly you haven't seen any highlights or anything like that of him. I've heard the name before. Jeff's seen him, and at first glance he vouches We're going to break him down some more as the
Tell me he's
calendar
not a
turns
slot
to
receiver.
April.
I just want to hear that he's not a slot
He's
receiver.
not a slot receiver. Big guy, outside the numbers. Did some good things at UMass. He's already played at Gillette Stadium, playing
That's
for
what I
UMass.
want to hear.
I'm loving it. The guy can get to the outside. Caught, I don't know, like 62 passes last year. That's made up. But I'm loving this guy. He gets outside the numbers. I can feel it. You can feel it. This is a guy who can run all the routes.
Well, I just Googled a highlight reel of him, and the thumbnail for it is him stiff-arming some guy
I
on
like that. That's a
some
good
other
start.
team. But he's stiff-arming the crap out of him, and that looks nice.
So we're going to be sure to break him down as we start to go in depth on our NFL draft coverage. I feel like
I'm
this
excited.
is a good point to end it and wrap things up. So, Drew, it was a pleasure having you on.
Absolutely.
Anytime we have one of
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, anytime we have the Patriots writers on, they kill it. We usually have some fun at Jeff's expense as well. So no exception tonight. I'm glad that tradition lives on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been great. I'm actually using this podcast for a communication class of mine. We have to do audio storytelling, some kind of two birds, one stone, and I think she'll love it too. I don't know if she'll get all of the inside jokes, but I'll be sure to not explain them to her because they're slightly inappropriate. But
Yeah, you may have to
that's
edit
okay. We're all
something
guys
out.
here. But I think she'll enjoy the informal discourse and the great conversation we had tonight, though.
Bring it on down.
On that note, for Drew Kennedy and Jeff Kane, I'm Bobby Kravitsky. You can find me on Twitter at Bobby_K91. You can find Jeff at JeffKane78. You can find Inside the Hoodie at ITH_FB. Drew Kennedy, I'll let you give your plugs and where everyone can find your excellent work because he really does take excellent photos as well. And he knows his stuff when it comes to politics. So if you want to give him a follow for those two reasons, in addition to football insight, it's worth it. Go ahead, tell the people where they can find you.
On Instagram, it's dkennedy_photos. I'm an amateur photographer. I'm into nature and sports. I do a lot for my college, Bryant University, does some hockey stuff. And I'm the director of marketing for recreational sports on campus, all the club and intramural sports. I do all the marketing for that. And on Twitter at DrewKennedy7. Find me on there. Hope to get some followers. I'll follow you back, maybe.
There you have it. All right. That wraps it up.
Mountains and valleys, Drew. Mountains and valleys, baby.
That's right. I told you he takes excellent pictures. I didn't say what he takes excellent pictures of.
Daily lessons from Kane right there.
Always. Always. Well, thank you to all of our listeners. We're sorry if you didn't get any/all of these inside jokes, but we had a great time, and hopefully you did as well. Same time slot, as always, next week when we come to you in our regular spot, Tuesdays, 9 o'clock Eastern. We'll see you then, folks. Until then, have a great week.
Go Pats.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Are you taking a picture of me, Jeff?
No, I was shutting off whatever this crap is.
Oh, Periscope?
Yes.
All right, so for the audio file, is that relatively easy to do for you?
Yeah.
All right.
Hold on one second. I got to stop the recording here.